Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Off the Ropes, episode 37. Day one-ish.
No music played on my end. Did it yours, Kyle?
We can't hear anything on the music end, bro.
I can't hear the music.
I was like,
I
thought you were still tinkering with stuff over there.
Oh man, y'all missed that. Hold on.
Yeah, we didn't hear anything. And then you came on. I was like, wait, we started. You threw me off.
Yeah, we did.
That's why I was looking down on my phone. I didn't even know we'd started yet. I never heard no music.
So I've been jamming this whole time to myself.
Yeah, we can't hear anything.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. You missed out on some great music there. Oh, I see what the problem is. I've been doing some updating on my computer, and ever since I did that, it's been kind of all right. So just in case you missed it, this is what I was jamming to, guys. Now you can hear it. So now we're ready for Off the Ropes, episode 37. We're gonna
R.I.P. Def Rebel.
We're gonna talk about the Crown Jewel pay-per-view coming up here on Saturday, but also we're gonna talk the episode 4 of the Mr. McMahon series. It's been a little bit since we've talked, and got my special guest Beckham here with me. He's ready for the Crown Jewel pay-per-view. But man, it's been a few weeks, guys. How's everything going?
Good, busy.
Yeah, I think we all are kind of busy. You know, football's raring to go, and then I've got a big hoops game coming up Saturday. Basketball's starting up, so probably one of the best games in the area to start the season is Brook Hill will host Martins Mill. So I'm pumped about that. Did get some bumming news from Coach Hubbard today. I'll talk to you guys about it off air, but anyway, we got a big game coming up. I'm actually going to be, so they redid the games time, and Kyle may know this because his dad's going to be helping me, but they moved the game for volleyball playoff purposes to noon. So I've got soccer at 8:30 and at 10:30. Well, pending weather. So I'm going to be setting up the equipment, tear down football, roll over to the gym, set it up the Friday night. So leave it there, and have it ready to go. And I roll in Saturday morning, like right before tip off. So it's going to be interesting fun, but a double header in like, I guess within just over 12 hours, I'll have Brook Hill football and Brook Hill girls hoops. So yeah, it's gonna be busy. No Thursday night game this week for me though. I don't know if you guys are going anywhere Thursday, but I'm not. You could, if you don't have anything to do, you can tune in on NSN. We'll have the trick or treat game of the week over. It's Joaquin and Shelbyville on the 31st, so we'll have that game going.
I'll be watching to get some highlights from that one, so I will be tuned in on Thursday night.
Yeah, because you got the other district game the following night, Kyle. So
yeah, so I need to see. I got to stay up to date on how that one turns out, so I know what to talk about Friday.
Where are you going Friday, Timpson Garrison?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
The Battle of the Atoyak.
Yeah, I was about to tell you. I covered that for many years.
And our special cameraman's traveling down with Kyle. He's going to help Larry out. Kyle's dad's going to be doing the video. So,
and because of the trial that's going on this week, JD, who normally does what I did last year, interviewing the coach after the game, the access and all that, he's not going to be there. So I get to step back into the old role and be back in the locker room for access and interview the winning coach after the game. So it's going to be a busy Friday.
Great job, Renee Paquette.
Hardest working woman in showbiz.
Man. Okay, so let's talk about episode 4 real quick. I know it's been a while since I've watched it, and I'm sure you guys too, but it was the Attitude Era episode. Kind of started when things got, I guess, maybe the Vince McMahon character and the person kind of blurred lines here a little bit. Just kind of some things that I have off this sheet that I have here that has You got the screw job, the Montreal screw jobs talked about here in this one. You've got some more allegations, obviously, with that's kind of the theme of this, off and on by McMahon, and of course the kind of the end. We talked about the Monday Night Wars on the last one, so this was kind of like after WWE had won that, and they had this huge roster with all these WCW guys, and just an interesting era. You got some highlights on that you saw, Brandon, that you liked or didn't like about this episode?
I mean, this was Screwjob was on the previous episode 3, but
Oh, was it? Okay.
but those were 1A, 1B for me, and I think this was 1B, but I liked them both. These were my 2 favorite episodes. But 4 was right up there because it was stuff I lived through a lot, but in this episode they really touched. I mean, there was a point, because you think of WWE as this powerhouse, or WWF at the time, but WCW was crushing them. I mean, it did not look good for WWE at the time, and I mean they were trying some crazy, this pre-Attitude Era. I mean, they were trying some crazy things. They had Kane as an evil dentist. They had Doink the Clown. They had some other, and they were trying some crazy things, and it just wasn't working. And then then Vince kind of started saying, like, "Hey, let's get a little edgy here," and that's when they started the Stone Cold Austin 316 line came, and then The Rock came, and he became a star, and it started to catapult for WWE there, and then they finally, then WCW started sinking, but the other heart story is what came out here, because once Bret left, they pushed Owen, and this is the episode where we got the tragic death in the ring of Owen Hart, and back then we didn't have just easy access to all these pay-per-views. They were $50 a pop, and so you make it for us. I know if we got 1 a year or 2 a year, we were happy. You just couldn't afford all of them.
It was one of those where you invite the friends over and everybody pays $5.
Yeah, but we still we didn't do it for all of them. It's like you could do WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, and then maybe one, and maybe another gadget one, Survivor Series, and maybe a gadget one, and this happened on one of those gadget ones. It was either In Your House or something like that. But and which I used to love the In Your House pay-per-views. I mean, they all were pretty good, but Owen Hart, died in the ring. And there's things like, I remember it happening, and you hear about it over the years, but then on that documentary, they kind of touched on certain things about, like, there was blood that's still in the ring, and then, like, I knew the show still went on, but it was very I don't know. I don't know how that would be handled today. Today I think the show would be done. And especially with someone other than Vince in charge. But even with Vince in charge, I don't know if today they would have been able to continue the show. Where back then, because there was no social media then. So back now,
there will be all kinds of videos and stuff of that now.
So they might try to go for like one more match, and then eventually some of that, hey, y'all got to shut this down. There would be no way they could have continued it like they did.
Speaking of that, did y'all see this is a little bit off topic, no pun intended there. Did y'all see the Chris Bay thing? He's a TNA wrestler.
Yeah, I saw his post, but I didn't really know much. I didn't look and see what it was about. I saw his message, but that's about it.
Yeah, so I think it was a botched spot. The match was with the Hardys. So
the match, but I don't even remember that spot, because I had it like it was on. I was watching it with college football, so I had that match on. I watched the TNA pay-per-view there tonight. It was pretty good. I mainly watched it for the Joe Hendry Nick Nemeth match. But I had the whole thing on, and I saw that match, but I don't remember that spot, but I saw his message on Twitter.
Yeah, that's a sad deal. Sounds like it's going to be he had like emergency neck surgery, so that's not ever good when they have to go and do that, right away. So hopefully he'll it won't be anything. I mean, not even worried about getting back in the ring at this point. Just be able to live a normal life. That's scary. But I really liked his character. He was one of the first. Like, I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about how New Japan and TNA didn't get along. He was one of the first ones that kind of crossed over 2 or 3 years ago that kind of started that relationship. Of course, he's in the Bullet Club, one of the members of Bullet Club, and so they kind of came over with that. But he was really good in the ring. Like, I enjoyed watching him. He's one of the ones that I do know from TNA. I don't watch a whole lot of it, but he's been there a while and is a really good wrestler and he's got a good character. So I really hate to see that stuff happen. And but yeah, your Joe Hendry, I think they're not going to put him over. He's going to be out of there. He's going to be going and cashing in on a big contract, I imagine, when his deal with TNA expires. I would like to see him pop up in the Royal Rumble.
And I don't want to know about it beforehand. Like, I just want it to happen, and that pop will be huge. Because that was a fun match there, not with him, but then JBL had to come and run it. So
yeah. Kyle, what'd you think about this era of wrestling here?
So this is the first thing that is fresh on my mind from what Brandon just said about the Owen Hart. Like, I had always heard the story. Remember, we talked about this in previous episodes. Like, I didn't really start watching wrestling till more recently. So, like, I've heard all these stories and I've seen the clips and seen all that stuff. But to see, like, I think that was the biggest red flag of Vince McMahon in my eyes is a wrestler just died. And there is, like, I can't fathom, like, in today's world, a CEO of a company losing an employee and saying, well, continue working rest of the day. Like, life goes on. Like, that's insane to me.
Well, I mean,
like,
we almost had this situation 2 years ago with in the NFL with DeMar Hamlin, is he didn't die, but they thought he might, like, and they stopped the game.
He did die. He did die on the field. And then, but
right.
I see what you, but I see what
he's
you're
still
saying.
alive is what I mean. Yeah.
Right. But that's
and they stopped
crazy.
The game.
That is crazy to me. And then to ask these wrestlers, and he tried to cover himself and said, well, I didn't make anybody. Nobody can say no to you, Vince. Like, you had that, without saying anything, you told them that they had to go out there and wrestle when their friend, their coworkers' blood is still in the ring. Like, you couldn't even have the decency to change the ring mats. Like, we're at games. We've been to wrestling shows and they change the ring mats now after every 2 matches or so. Like, there's a fresh new mat out there. You couldn't have it at the very least. If you're going to go on with the show, you couldn't have changed the ring mat. You got this man's blood still sitting out there where, like, that just blew my mind. I could not fathom that. So I think that was my most eye-opening thing in the episode. But yeah, the Attitude Era, I mean, it was, like I said, I've seen the videos of the stuff before, but just kind of reliving it, everybody talks about getting back to the Attitude Era, and the Attitude Era was the best time in wrestling. And I mean, it was phenomenal. I think it was all the talent, that there was just an abundance of really amazing talent. You had Hall of Famers left and right. Now, I know Wrestling Hall of Fame, everybody gets into the WWE Hall of Fame, but like, legit Hall of Famers left and right all over that roster. And it just was star-studded and power-packed, and it was the best time. And you were right too, Brandon, like, seeing where WWE is now. It's almost like AEW is WWE back in that time, and WCW is WWE now. Like, that, it's almost that same scenario where it looks so bad. Like, yeah, WWF almost was non-existent because WCW was so good. And to see them battle through all that, and that's where you got to give Vince credit, which I hate it because he's such a terrible person. But, like, he was at the head of that ship. If we want to give him all the crap for when things are bad, you got to give him credit when things go good too, because that's his company. So, I mean, it's amazing to see how far they've come. But yeah, that time of wrestling will never be matched. It's like we talk about NXT Black and Gold will never exist again. Like that was a point in time that was just amazing.
Do you remember when it
we
won't
have
neon?
Attitude Era.
You remember when the all the multicolor?
Yeah.
I was
2.0.
I was just like, hey, also,
Yeah.
you talk about Vince McMahon. Did y'all see the rumors he's trying to start up a new company?
I did.
Yeah. Once his legal stuff has passed, though.
Yeah.
He'll be dead then.
It'll be interesting to see what it's supposedly not wrestling related. So we'll see what it entails. But they also named some people that were former employees of him that are working on whatever project this is. So something to keep our eyes on. I'm interested.
Is it Undertaker, Kane, and Mick Foley once they get done doing presidential stuff?
You never know. But yeah, I really enjoyed this time. I kind of wasn't really allowed to watch a lot of this. Like if I had this on and I have to switch it over, I was watching mostly WCW still until they kind of merged, and then there was only one wrestling promotion there. But I would like to flip over and watch Stone Cold and Undertaker and Rock, but my parents weren't too big of fans of that stuff, so I really wasn't allowed to. But I did get to watch some, and it was good stuff. I enjoyed this episode. I think these two were probably my favorite as far as entertainment wise. The last one to me was the most like informative. Like I enjoyed it because it kind of like we kind of got to see. It was after there was not really any interviews with Vince. It was more of like the after effects of what everybody thought about all the allegations and something. I enjoyed the information on that one, but these two, I think, were the best episodes to me too. I agree with you, Brandon. These were really entertaining episodes.
Yeah, and another thing on this one is they kind of shined a light on. I forgot, like, I mean, I remember, when The Rock came and then like The Rock got big, but it showed that there was a point where they kind of were trying to shove him down fans' throats like they did Roman, and it wasn't being received. And it was like the same thing, and that's when he had to turn heel and then become a megastar, and then could flip back face. And now we've seen it with Roman. Roman was getting pushed on us. It wasn't biting. He turned heel. Now he's a babyface, and it's been very similar, and it's worked to perfection. It took a while on both because when they were being shoved down, there was always someone else you wanted to be pushed, and then that huge heel run is kind of what catapulted both of them. And now they're both part of a huge storyline as part of it several years later.
Yeah, I think that's it's interesting that you point that out, but it is true. I know the Roman thing was like I got really there's like they just tried to like hammer him, and it was like this is so bad. I even mentioned, and I don't think we're doing the show at the time, but I was like, man, put him with the Usos and make them a little family faction. Like that was so obvious for so many years that they didn't pull the trigger on it. They finally did, and it worked. But I was like, they could have, they talked about the bloodline before it was even ever a thing. Like they kind of talked and were, interacted on the show and stuff together before it was an actual group. So one of the best things they ever did. And who would have thought? How many years are we in now? 4 years now on that. Almost 5, and it's still they're still got. I mean, there's so many things they can do with this. So we'll see what they got. But yeah, that was a good episode. I enjoyed it. Let's talk Crown Jewel, guys. All right. So we got on this what I have, and Brandon, you must see if you have the same number of matches. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches on the card is what I have here.
When I think the last card I saw was 7. Let's see. I think the one I'm looking at should have 7 too. 1, 2, 3.
That's what I have here.
Yeah, because I had seen that the other day that there was 7, and everybody was like, "Whoa!" Because Triple H said 5 was his kind of limit for these not WrestleMania, not SummerSlam, not Survivor Series, not Rumble.
Well, the Saudis they're big money making here. They got to put some probably.
This is a banger for like a crown jewel. You know, crown jewels are normally kind of. This one's I don't know if I'm gonna get to watch it live. What time does it start?
Starts at 12. I'll actually be doing. I know I won't be watching this.
I know you won't be. I don't know what time I'm leaving. I'm going to the SMU game, and so it's a 7 o'clock kickoff. So I just don't know what time I'm leaving. I probably wouldn't be able to finish it, but I may. But also watching SmackDown, I can't watch till Saturday morning anyway. So I don't know if I'll get to watch it Saturday at all. Probably won't get to watch it till Sunday. But I'm looking forward to, like, most time Crown Jewel we watch them, but we're like, hey, there's nothing. I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can happen here. There's a lot of twists and turns.
You know, you don't have storylines on Crown Jewel, and we didn't know if we were going to get it because we had we talked about the Crown Jewel title matches, but the bigger matches are the other. You know, the women's one has some intriguing storylines in it, the women's Crown Jewel match, but it's the other matches that have the big stories that we'll get to.
Yeah, and I don't know what the order is going to be. I don't think these are really in any kind of sort of order. I think, to me,
well,
I think the Bloodline story is going to be last. I think that's going to be the main event. So I'm going to start from the top going down here. The top one on this list is Gunther versus Cody Rhodes for the men's Crown Jewel Championship. Still not a fan.
Are you looking at Bleacher Report?
I am.
Me too. That's right. Yes.
I'm not a fan of this whole let's add another championship. I know it's like a once in the year thing, whatever. It is what it is. Every week we have to start the show. Hey, we're bringing in this. There's a big, nice case with this huge.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I'm like, we got to show it off again just because we don't want to forget what it looks like and how big it is. You know, I'm like, come on, guys, we don't need to see that every single show. Like, come on. I mean, I guess they'll have next week after this pay-per-view, the champ will have his own security. He'll be bringing the belt in this case, and he'll have it to the ring, and so it's all secured up because there's so many diamonds in it. Don't want anybody to steal it. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of that. I think there could be some shenanigans going on in this match. I think they're going to put Gunther over because they're really trying to push him. I think Cody Rhodes can take the L here, and not look bad. I think something's going to happen. I'm going to take Gunther here to win. I think they're really trying to push him, and I think he needs to win more than Cody at this point.
I think that I'm not a fan of pitting champion versus champion because you have to pin a champion. So, but I understand why it's happening and why everything's going on. I think it's going to be a great match. I think they're going to put on one heck of a match. I mean, you put Cody and Gunther in the ring, it's not going to be bad. I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm with you, Bret. I think there's some sort of shenanigans in this. I think Ludwig Kaiser helps Gunther somehow. Maybe some of the bloodline get involved with Cody. I mean, there's something. I don't think it's going to be a clean win, but I think Gunther's going to win, and I think it's going to be a heck of a match.
Yeah, I think Gunther will win too. I think there could be some shenanigans. I just don't know because, like, where I think the shenanigans could come from is all those people are involved in matches too. Except unless the shenanigans come after Gunther, and then that could be something different. But anyone that would attack Cody.
Are you talking about Goldberg?
Well, I heard he's not going to be there. I was thinking more Dirty Dom.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a good point.
Because they've been teasing that. Yeah, but like, because anyone that's going to be messing with Cody, well, they all got matches. So, like, I mean, that doesn't mean anything technically, but
they don't all have a match, Brandon.
Who doesn't have a match?
There is somebody that could come out. I don't think he would come out, but he could come out. He does not have a match on this card.
Oh, yeah. But I think if he's going to come out, though, I think it would be for the other match.
I do too, but I mean, he doesn't have a match, and he could. He doesn't like Cody. He's one. Remember, he was telling Cody that he was going to, go after him. So I don't know.
Well, was he telling Cody that, or was he telling Roman that?
he was pointing 1, 2, 3 in the ring.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
I don't
yeah,
think Rock has anything to do with this Cody match. Not yet.
no.
I don't think so.
I'll-
I'm just
The-
saying he could. I mean,
The
I don't
people
think
I would think would come after Cody would be he's messing with Randy for this time. So
yeah.
Yeah, my first thought was Randy or KO, but then I thought, well, they're in a match later, so they can't interfere in anything.
I mean, they could, but it depends on placement. But I don't know. Yeah, I'll pick Gunther. I'm looking forward to the match though.
Hey, then the fun thing is that we don't know what's going to happen. We think we know, but we don't have any. I mean, that's to me that tells a lot right there. Like I like this match. Usually, I'm with Kyle. I kind of voiced my opinion about this. But I don't like this title versus title match just because somebody has to lose. And usually we think we know when we kind of know who's going to win. We have no idea how. Like we don't have. There's a lot. They've got so many stories going. There could be a lot of different ways this match goes. That's what intrigues me. I'm interested to see how it actually plays out. The next match should be interesting. You got Liv Morgan and Nia Jax for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship. Now you also have some shenanigans. You've got multiple feuds intertwining with each other. I don't know if y'all saw. I didn't get to watch NXT. I'm not caught up. But did you see NXT last night? Right?
I did. I watched it today. I threw it on when I finally got.
So you saw the Rhea Ripley.
A couple hours of homework. Yeah.
I don't know if that story legit,
well,
whatever.
From what I saw, is she is legit injured. But I mean, the injury was caused somewhere else, and then the thing that happened last night was story driven to write it into. But she got the injury in a different way.
Okay.
She didn't get injured last night, but they showed what they showed to get its story involved, and so when she does come back, it adds to it. She'll be out a little bit now. So
Rhea got hurt.
Yeah,
she got an injury.
When did this happen?
But what they did last time on NXT, the ending, she for some reason showed up on NXT, and she just came and did like a little backstage thing with. There's going to be a banger women's tag match next week on their Philly thing, and so Rhea came and talked to one of the teams, is like helping them up. At the end of the show, something's going in the parking lot. The restaurant out there, Rhea's laid out by her car, bloodied up, and they just showed Raquel and Liv walking away with baseball bats. So that's the story.
So that's
what really happened to her?
Let me see what the injury was.
Was it an orbital? Was it an orbital fracture or something?
Like WWE's actually like posted about it.
They showed a picture. I saw a picture posted, like some kind of
like cranial or something.
Yeah.
She cannot stay healthy. Every time she comes back, she gets hurt again.
Yeah, fractured right orbital socket.
That sounds terrible. Sounds so painful.
Go to WWE's Twitter and look at the X-ray.
Yeah, I saw the X-ray. That's why I knew about it. I'm actually kind of behind on NXT. I may be catching up here tomorrow.
Did you watch the? I mean, we can talk about it after.
I didn't get to watch it. No, I for some reason I didn't think it was on the weekend. I thought it was on a Tuesday night. It was one of those Tuesday
specials. That's what I really thought too.
And so I didn't even realize it was on, or I would have probably watched it. But I do plan on going. I'm going to try to watch the NXT up to it. And I'm like one episode behind, and then I can watch Halloween Havoc. And then I can watch
last night's NXT was good too. Next week in Philly is going to be fun.
I've enjoyed NXT for what I've been watching there. It seems like that what they get in that little short time frame is really good.
They do 2 hours, and like all the shows are 2 hours now.
Well, it just seems like it's bang bang. Like I don't feel like it's as long. I think it's because
they're women's division, and they've added some more. And next week they're doing a 10-woman tag. And it's going to be like, I mean, I've never been excited about a 10-woman tag before, but because not many, I mean, none of the other companies could pull off a 10-woman tag to really interest you. And this one, I mean, unless maybe like Survivor Series, they may figure something out, but this is going to be intriguing.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. It's been a while since I've been excited for NXT like this. It's starting to really grow on me. It's right there. You know, I like Raw and SmackDown, but right there with Dynamite is NXT to me. I like to try to get that in because They have so deep of a roster. I think they are going to have to start promoting some of these women up though at some point, because
Well,
the women's division.
they've kind of I think they've kind of already started with Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson. I think they're basically up now. They're on the Bad Blood. I mean the Crown Jewel card. I think they're basically up now, and there's a couple men that I feel like are coming up soon too.
It's weird though, they didn't bring up the rest of Metaphor though.
Well, Metaphor's kind of, I don't, because like they what I know him Dar got hurt, but I don't know if he's coming back and then what they'll do with Ora Mensah if, like you said, if those two come up. So because I just don't know if I don't know how Ora Mensah works on the main roster. Like he seems like an NXT guy.
Yeah.
But so then maybe they just split them up. But I feel like them two are up. They'll probably got a couple more. But there's a guy coming up pretty soon. I can't tell you who because you haven't watched Halloween Havoc yet. But there's a guy I feel like will be up very soon.
Yeah. Well, so this match though, so we've got Rhea's story is that's what I wanted to kind of talk about. So that I knew Brandon probably knew. I figured Kyle didn't. So she's out of the picture now. So it's Liv Morgan, Nia Jax. So now you've still got Nia has a lot of stories. You've got Tiffy Time sitting there. Could we see a cash in? Maybe not. I don't know. Then you've of course Bailey and Naomi have been kind of feuding with Nia Jax. But it's gonna be interesting to see. I don't know. I don't know how this goes. I feel like that Tiffany plays a part in some sort of fashion in this, whether she gets involved and helps Nia, where she is a distraction and distracts Nia, where Liv gets the pin. You've got Raquel as well there. So I don't know. I'm going to go with Liv Morgan just because I'm tired of Nia Jax, honestly, and I hope Liv wins. I'm ready for we've talked about it a few times. I'm ready for the cash in. I think it's long past due. I know they want to tease it and it may draw out longer, but I'm just kind of over Nia Jax having the belt.
Well, and I don't know if you saw, but Nia, they started teasing Nia replacing Tiffy. She's kind of replaced her with Candice LeRae. She's been getting Candice LeRae to do her dirty work, and you can see Tiffy getting a little jealous. So I think that's getting closer. It's not going to happen this Saturday, and I think Liv has to win, especially now. Like last night, you made her. I mean, yes, you had Raquel's help, but you have her showing her taking out Rhea again. She's the champion. She's beaten Rhea multiple times. Now she's injured her twice. And now if she beats Nia, like you have a mega superstar because you got no Rhea no more, or for a while. You have no more Becky. You have no Charlotte. Bailey's in and out. Like Liv she wins this. She is the face of the women's division, and she's the star carrying it. And she's been that for a little bit now. But this would a win over Nia. No matter what you think of Nia, if Liv tends to everything else she's done this year, I mean, she's the women's wrestler of the year, and she's the star of the company for the women's division.
Man, I was completely ready to go opposite of what you just said, and I think you may have just swayed me. If you were recruiting on NCAA right now, you just got me to commit. I think you just swayed me.
If I was like running for president or something.
But you got my vote. I was gonna say that I think Nia wins because I saw SmackDown was taped. So I saw a clip that got put out of an in-ring promo between Nia, Tiffy, Liv, and Raquel. And so I saw that clip made me think, well, maybe Nia wins and Tiffy cashes in right after to become the champion. So that was my initial thought. But then when Brandon laid out what he just laid out, that makes sense. And then on top of hearing that Rhea's legit out now, then what else does Liv have to do? Like, that was her story. And so now you take Rhea out. Well, now what do Liv and Raquel do? So I think if you put the title on them, that at least gives you a reason to have a story. Well, somebody's going to be coming after them with a title. So, or for the title. So I think it makes more sense for Liv to win now. But before the Rhea injury, I think maybe Nia would have won, and then we get a Tiffy cash in. Tiffy's going to be involved somehow. I think she's going to accidentally cost Nia the title and give it over to Liv. So, but yeah, I'm going to pick Liv to win thanks to Brandon. So if I'm wrong, then it's thanks to Brandon.
It's all Brandon's fault.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so we got the United States Championship. We got L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes and Andrade, which, man, did you guys see Game 7? It was the most disappointing game.
This game set. If you're gonna hype up a Game 7 as much as you hype that up, you cannot have it in that way. Like that was horrible. That was horrible.
They could make them a tag team like Sheamus and Cesaro.
That'd have been like we had Game 7 in like the NBA Finals or something, and we're all hyped up. And they get in the fourth quarter, and then it's a tied up, and they're just like, "Hey, never mind. We're just gonna end the tie. You guys go home." What?
That was horrible. That was terrible booking.
That was bad. Now we got to see them.
We knew it was all coming to a triple threat. We knew it was coming to a triple threat. You didn't have to do that. You could have let them wrestle in, I don't know, do something, anything else, but give us a Game 7 match.
Yeah. I don't know how this goes now because I could see LA Knight losing the title here, not getting pinned. I don't know. I mean, they've been really pushing Carmelo. I think he's a big star as a heel, but have you guys, LA Knight has been kind of heelish lately a little
That's
bit.
what I was about to mention. Especially the other night, he really showed heel tendencies the other night, like big time. So, but like, because I don't know what Andrade is. Like, I know Carmelo's a heel. LA Knight hasn't been. If Andrade's the face, maybe he wins, and it leads to an LA Knight like full turn. But if it's coming off LA Knight, I'd rather go to Carmelo.
I think Andrade is in there to take the pin. I think he's the one that you pin. I think LA Knight and Carmelo Hayes are your stars. Andrade, he's been there a while, but I mean, he'd be better off joining one of those Mexican groups, the LWO or the. Well, I mean, at least I don't understand what he's there for right now. Like he has no character. Andrade El Idolo, and he comes out in his mask and he wrestles. I don't really. He doesn't have.
Well, the only thing he's done since he's got there has been involved with Melo. Like since he came in, it's been him and Melo in a best of 7 pretty much. So he hasn't had a chance to do anything else.
He's just waiting for Charlotte to come back.
Yeah, then him and Charlotte are going to be a power couple on TV. Gosh, no.
Hey,
I don't know.
No.
I think LA Knight loses the title. I'm going to say Carmelo Hayes pins Andrade for the title, and that's going to set up a Hayes and Knight feud. And I think they could pull a double switch here because Carmelo Hayes was a face in NXT at one time. So if they decide to do that, it wouldn't surprise me. Get LA Knight because he can be a good heel. Eli Drake in TNA, he was a pretty good heel character for a while. If you guys saw him,
LA Knight was a heel in NXT when he was heel in Cameron Grimes and stuff.
Okay, so when he very first, I couldn't remember because I didn't watch NXT at that point. I mean, he was on there, but then as soon as I started watching,
was good. I missed that NXT.
When I first started watching him, and then he immediately was that maximum male model nonsense, and then I don't know whose idea that was, but that was the biggest malarkey I've ever seen.
I remember LA Knight and Cameron Grimes, their feud when they were going after that $1 million $1 million title. The Ted DiBiase got involved. He was coaching up Cameron Grimes. Man, that was good. That was peak NXT. I can't see them taking the title off LA Knight. I can't see it. I mean, I saw the heel tendencies too because him doing everything he did in that match Friday was complete heel stuff. Like a babyface LA Knight wouldn't do that because honestly, if you don't want it to be a triple threat, then let them fight. You getting involved is going to cause a disqualification, and then they're just going to put both of them in the match with you. So, yeah, it was a dumb heel move by LA Knight. But, I mean, if we're getting heel LA – to be honest, though, like LA Knight's character has always been heel. Like, people have just started to cheer him now. Like, he's always kind of been this pompous, arrogant, I'm better than you. Like, that's been his whole thing. So, is he really being a heel, or is he just still being LA Knight? I mean, I think I don't think he's going to change, but I'm kind of with you, Brett. I think, unfortunately, because I love Andrade, I think he's fantastic in the ring, but unfortunately, I think he's in there just to take the pin. I mean, I don't see the good in pinning Carmelo Hayes. I don't see LA Knight losing the title. So if somebody's got to take the pin, it's Andrade, and I'm gonna say LA Knight wins the match.
Yeah, I'm gonna take LA Knight too.
All right, and I won't be surprised that I feel like that they've been really trying to push Carmelo. I'd like to see him get a little run, because I think if he wins, and it may just bring out another whole side of heel LA Knight. Like, he just makes him just full go heel, and then we get one of those feuds that we've got on a couple of these matches that I'm really excited for on this card. The next one listed, though, is let's stick every tag team women's tag team that we have in a match. Gotta love those. Kyle loves
bathroom break match.
Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, Piper Niven, Chelsea Green, Lash Legend, Jakara Jackson, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane. Now, the only reason you do this is this is where Jade and Bianca lose, right? Because, I mean, they can lose the titles again without being pinned. At some point, we got to see them. I mean, I love them, but they're like both this super cut, muscled up, strong. Like, I want to see them go at it. Like, I want to see them get on the mic and cut some promos and go at it. I'm hoping that soon. I'm thinking they're losing now. Just got to figure out who it is too. I don't think it's Chelsea Green. I don't think it's them. The Lash Legend, Jakara Jackson, they've been pushing them. So it could be them, or it could be Damage Control. You got Io Sky and Kairi Sane. I really love them in the ring. They do good work in the ring. I guess Asuka is just out indefinitely. I love to see Asuka return and help them win the match. That would be cool. I don't know how you guys know the injury status of Asuka. Anybody? I don't know. I just know she's out injured. So I don't know. But just for this sake, I mean, they've really been pushing Lash Legends and Jakara Jackson. I really haven't seen them a whole lot. I know they're a metaphor and all that, but I don't know if it's their time yet. I'm gonna go a safe pick. I'm gonna go with Io Sky and Kairi Sane, just because I know they're solid workers in the ring, and I think that they're gonna pin Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. They're in there to take the pin. I think that's for sure for me. I think it's Chelsea Green that probably takes the pin.
I'm gonna go with the unsafe pick. Kairi Sane and them are definitely the safe pick. That's probably who will win. I'm gonna go off the board. Say it's Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. They've teased it. They've teased it. I think this is their time. I agree with you that Jade and them will lose the titles. And you said, hey, I'll throw every tag team this. They've told a story to get to this point. Maybe not a great story, but they've did little matches to set up this match. That they've all had little regular tag matches, and there's been little interferences and everything, and they've done a good job. There hasn't been a true number one contender match, so it's like, hey, but they've all been battling for it. So it's set up four-way. I saw the
sad thing, Brandon. The sad thing is there's two teams in NXT right now that are better than all four of these.
Yeah. Technically, those aren't teams, but they were awesome as a team. Yeah, but no, I agree with you too. It's funny seeing the poster for this though, because in Saudi the women have to be like fully, they had to wear sleeves, fully clothed. See the poster for this match?
Mm-mm.
So all of them, they had a picture with them like that, except Lash Legend. So they just took a normal picture of her and like turned her skin green and glitter like clothes, but it's not like for the poster. It's pretty awkward, but I agree with what you said, Brett, about but I don't think this is not the time for them. I think Jakara Jackson takes the pin here, and but I fit some kind of something between Bianca and Jade where they won't split in this night, but something caused them to lose that'll leave breadcrumbs for down the future.
Yeah.
I want to say something controversial. Maybe I got spoiled by Samantha Irvin, but hearing Lillian Garcia now, back then watching wrestling and hearing Lillian, I thought she was great, but I've been spoiled by Samantha, and I don't think I'm a fan of Lillian announcing. Maybe she'll get back into a groove. I know she's just getting back into things, but just wanted to put that on the record. Anyway, about this tag team match, I will be probably fixing some food or checking in on something else while this match is going on. I mean, I get what you're saying, Brandon. You're right. They did their best to tell a little. I just don't care. I just don't. The women's tag team championship belts are worthless. They mean absolutely nothing. And I get it. You got to start somewhere. If you want to build them back up, you got to start somewhere. That's great. Call me when it's back up and running again. Because right now, I just don't care about it. I just don't. I'm ready to see Bianca and Jade split, and I think that's going to be the WrestleMania match that we get. It's just a matter of getting there. I think now is the time to start sowing the seeds of deceit and kind of start fueling that fire a little bit. But and in that, let's be crazy. Let's turn Bianca heel. Let's make Bianca turn on Jade. Let's have Bianca be the heel and not be the baby face all the time. Let's try something different there and see if how that works out. I don't know.
My daughter would hate that. She's a big Bianca fan.
That's probably why it won't happen.
But I think it should happen.
Yeah, I think it should, but I don't think it will. But I do think they lose the titles in this match because of what you said, Brandon. I think something happens unintentionally or whatever where it costs them the match, and that's where those seeds start to sow. And I think that's going to happen Saturday. Now, who do they lose to? It doesn't matter. I mean,
it doesn't matter.
Who did you pick, Bret? Damage Control?
I picked Damage Control. Yeah.
And you pick Brandon, you pick Chelsea and Piper?
Yeah, I don't know if they have a cool name or not.
Then give me Lash and Jakara.
Okay.
One of us has to be right. Well, unless they just do the total opposite.
They just keep the titles.
So who's going to take the pin here?
Chelsea Green.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So we got two of us that say Chelsea's taking the pin, and one of us thinks that Chelsea's going to win.
And gets the pin.
So Chelsea will be involved in the finish somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. Some way you got to have her be involved in that.
So it'll be interesting to see how Samantha Irvin does with Chelsea Green's introduction.
You mean Lillian?
Yes.
Yeah. We heard it the other night. She said,
I wonder
Chelsea Green.
I don't know if Lillian will do this show or if it'll be Alicia.
I'd rather Alicia. And I wasn't a big fan of Alicia, but I would rather Alicia than Lillian.
Or it could be Mike Rome. I don't know.
Mike Rome would be the best of all three options.
He does NXT right now, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss Samantha, man.
I miss Samantha already.
And she's already said she's not going to AEW. She's doing something totally different. She
is firing off at people on Twitter.
She always has. She's always pretty fiery. And she's got a personality. Like she was awesome at what she does. Whatever she does, she'll be successful. And she's built her name now. So
yeah, no, I'm 100%
name.
behind it.
She can't be Samantha Irvin no more. That's not her real name.
True. It's true.
Well, I think she could say she's not going to AEW right now, but it wouldn't surprise me if Ricochet continues to stay there and whatever doesn't
Well,
work or works out.
it depends what they let her do, because that was the thing. She just didn't want to be an announcer no more. She didn't even want to leave WWE. She said she wanted to do something different, and they
wanted to be a manager.
Yeah, she wanted to be a manager,
well,
but they wanted to be an announcer because she's
what
so
happens.
good at it.
That's what happens. I'll say, whenever you're so good at something, why would they want to put her anywhere else? And she was,
yeah, but if she's that good at it and she's that much of an asset, let her at least pursue the other avenue within your company, instead of telling her no,
or pay her some big bucks. And
I think she's already getting pretty well, but I mean, she's got singing aspirations. She'll do something successful. So,
all right.
But like, if she goes to AEW,
okay, put her with Ricochet.
Put her with like someone against Ricochet.
Oh, that would be interesting. These next 3 matches are going to be brutal. I'm excited about these next 3. First one is the unsanctioned match between Big Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins. And man, guys, Monday, another great segment from these guys on Monday. I'm starting to like this feud like I did the CM Punk Drew McIntyre feud. Like, these guys don't like each other. It's brutal. They said, all right, well, we can't go inside the ring, so let's go outside and brawl. Like, I'm really excited to see what they're going to try to pull in this match. I think they're really pushing Bronson Reed. They've just injured Seth Rollins, so he's going to come into the night injured. So I think that's an easy way to sell that. That's why he can't win. So I'm going with Bronson Reed to get the win over Seth Rollins in this unsanctioned match.
I didn't realize it was unsanctioned. I missed that part, but I see it now, but I didn't know that. I'm looking forward to it. They've been going at it, and I think Bronson Reed wins too. I mean, I guess it's unsanctioned, but I think Bronson Reed will go over in this match. Yeah. He will be the last one standing. We don't know where he'll be standing and where, but Bronson will be the last one that gets out somewhere. Probably not in the ring. It's probably good, unless it's tsunami after tsunami, but it's probably going to be on a car or multiple tables or something.
Sign me up for it.
I didn't know this was unsanctioned either until y'all just said that. They snuck that in, I guess, or did it on social media or something. But yeah, I think this is going to be brutal. I'm with you, Bret. I'm invested in this one, kind of like I was the CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Not the same level of intensity, obviously, but you can understand where, like, Bronson's just a badass dude. Like, I have been on the Bronson bandwagon from day one. Before they added the big adjective in there, I was with him when he was just Bronson, not Big Bronson. But I've been a big fan, and I'm happy for him. I'm glad he's finally getting some shine, and people are noticing how good he is. And you're talking about Brandon. You're talking about Seth coming in injured. Bronson took a stomp on the top. He was a hood ornament, Joe Tessitore said. A hood ornament.
Yeah, for like 30 seconds, and he popped up like a Pop-Tart.
He did. But no, I think this is going to be a fun match to watch. And I think you have to give it to Bronson. Seth is a made man. He doesn't need the win. And it's unsanctioned, so it doesn't matter. So I think you give Bronson the win.
All right. Another one that's going to be a really good match. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. Man. All right. Let's let the nephew here, Kyle. What's Uncle Kevin thinking here this weekend?
Listen, you heard Triple H the other night. Kevin's disconnected. There's something that's disconnected up here. Uncle Kevin's lost his mind. Uncle Kevin's lost his marbles. He snapped the twig, whatever analogies you want to use. He's lost it. He's gone full Vince McMahon on us. And when I say full Vince McMahon, I mean lost his marbles, not all the other negative stuff. But I think this is gonna be a brutal match. I like what they're doing with KO. We saw him turn on Cody on social media. It wasn't on TV. And then they didn't want to talk about it because it was an internal matter. Well, then Kevin drops a mini pipe bomb from his car where he's talking about, you know, the company doesn't respect him and all this other stuff. Like, I love what they're doing with KO. And they've kept him off the show. That's the best part about it. Like, that mystery's there. Like, what? And then for Triple H to come out and say, Randy, I'm not protecting Kevin from you. I'm protecting you from Kevin. Like, he's disconnected. And like, this is the Viper you're talking to. This is Randy Keith Orton. Like, he ain't scared of nobody. And you're trying to protect him all of a sudden. Like, I'm fired up about this match. I think it's going to be great. And I think KO wins because you can't build someone up to be this mysterious monster just to have them lose when they come out. I don't care if it's Randy Orton or not. Like, you just can't have that happen. And two, I'm not going against Uncle Kevin. I got to see him at Thanksgiving. If he's still disconnected, I don't want to be put through the table of yams.
He'll be hitting stunners after stunners out on you.
That's what I'm saying. I can't have that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kyle. I'll say Unk's gonna win, but yeah, Kevin. It's been interesting how they because it was something we saw coming either from Kevin or Randy or both, and it still could happen with Randy too. But it happened in such a unique fashion. Like you said, it happened off air. It wasn't played out in the ring. And we haven't seen it. This will be the first match we've seen from it, and it still went out with Kevin and Cody. But it just happened backstage, and then Kevin thought Randy was taking sides, and then he went off on him. So I don't know. This will be interesting, and we'll see what the fallout is from this. You know, who wins, what it leads to with Cody. Because, I mean, I thought all along as we had WrestleMania, and the way we're going, it may end up being a triple threat at WrestleMania, but I think Cody and Kevin will settle their stuff before then, and same with Randy and Kevin, and I still think we'll get Cody and Randy. But I'm interested because another thing, I thought it was interesting how they did it on SmackDown too, is you see Randy come and talk to Triple H at the Control Center, then he comes out, calls Triple H out, and Triple H looked like he wasn't even planning on coming out to the ring, and they play his music, and he like threw his headset down. I was like, well, crap, my music's going. I guess I have to go out now. And then they had the moment where he said he was protecting Randy from Kevin, not the other way around.
I have a question in the logic of that. So if Triple H is running things right there, doesn't he hit the music? So somebody went rogue and played his music. And again, isn't Triple H in charge? So even if his music plays, can't he be like, no?
He could.
No.
But like there's another guy sitting right there by him. So I'm sure Triple H is like on the headset telling people when to hit music probably or other stuff. But I don't think he's the one actually pushing the button.
They should have had this thing that come out on social media that they fired the guy that played Triple H's music or something. Like really.
I love the backstage stuff they've been doing, stuff like that. Like I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I do too. It gives it more realistic feel. Like it's and I'm working in production. Like I love seeing behind the scenes stuff. Like I would absolutely. I tell my pops this all the time. Like how they could just hit a button and these lights do all the stuff that they do to match up with the music and with the pyro. Like I want to go to a WWE show and just be behind the scenes and just like watch it. Like that fascinates me.
So so what we need is an off the ropes, behind the scenes look in WWE. That could be
that would be so dope. That would be awesome.
Take the camera with us and get some cool shots, and
that would be sweet.
Yeah. So let's
trips. Hook us up, brother.
We need a backstage tour. I'm with you guys, man. They're really pushing Kevin right now. I think Randy Orton's Randy Orton, but they're really pushing this Kevin Owens character. I don't think he takes an L here. He's kind of on fire right now with all his ranting and raving, and man, I think this is who they're pushing for a match with Cody. And I could see them putting Kevin over Cody with this character and giving him a heel run where Kevin's just, because how many times has he lost the title in matches in a row? Was it some crazy number? Like
a lot.
7, 8 in a row. He's put the other guy over. So I would not be shocked if they give him a little run. I don't know when it's going to be, but he is if they can keep him hot long enough, I don't know if it gets to WrestleMania. Maybe it does. But I really like the heel character that Kevin Owens is out here. His face character was good, but this has been excellent. Excellent work. And he's almost getting that Drew McIntyre type heat right now. I know it's real early in this character, but it's real. It's they've done a really good job with these kind of blood feuds here lately. Of course, the Punk McIntyre one kind of played itself just because there was kind of some real life heat there, but with the Rollins and Bronson Reed one, with this one, they've done a really good job of really selling the feud and making me interested. We talked about that earlier in some of those matches, that even if the match isn't as good, if I'm interested in what's going to happen, I'm gonna be interested in watching it. So it's not like it's a difference in, Will Ospreay's music hits. I'm zoned in to watch him wrestle. I mean, even if there's not a storyline, I like storylines with his, but even if there's not, I'm tuned in. But if I can get a good feud and I care about what's happening, I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm interested, even if the match isn't at that level, I'm still going to be, focused in and watching to see what's going to happen. So these last several matches are really going to be lock in, sit down, and see what's going to happen. But yeah, I think Kevin wins here. The last match on the card here, or at least according to the order we have it, is we have the bloodline, the OG bloodline, if you want to call it, against the 2.0 bloodline. So you got Roman Reigns and the Usos back together. Cool moment that they're not on SmackDown for Jimmy and Jay, and you had Roman in at the ramp. That this Friday, Roman's supposed to be there, and they're going to talk it out. So that'll be interesting to see. I'm sure it's already been recorded, so I've tried to stay away from the spoilers of what happens and that kind of stuff. But I think here's where we get somebody else. We get another member. Is it The Rock? I think we may get The Rock, but I don't know if he's the. I think we get another Bloodline 2.0 member. I think somebody shows up, and I'm going to go with the current Bloodline 2.0 to get the win here, because
who's fighting him for the 2.0 bloodline?
So your favorite, the Tama Tonga and Tongaloa, your favorite two, and Solo. So you're already going to have Jacob.
No Jacob Fatu.
Oh,
no Jacob Fatu. That's what it says
then
here.
Fatu is going to get involved.
But he'll be involved.
They don't need to introduce another member.
But I think they might. I think it might end up coming out.
I did see they signed two more family members the other day. So,
but I guess why would they debut him now?
16-man tag match.
I don't know if they will. I'm just
16-man tag, Kyle. You got these 8 members of the Bloodline versus these 8. Let them brawl through the arena.
Did you see? Have y'all seen kind of how they're, because Sammy kind of questioned Jay and then got in Jimmy's face, and then there was like a backstage shot outside of him and Solo talking.
Yeah.
Is Sammy gonna be honorary Uso for the new Bloodline?
No.
That makes sense.
I don't think that happens. I think that Fatu definitely gets him. Now that I know he's not in the actual match,
I wish he was.
I'm calling over under 2 botches by Tongaloa.
Way over.
I'm taking the over.
He may not be. He may not be in the match. Maybe they'll throw him out and just have him just.
It doesn't matter. He wasn't in the other match when he punched his brother in the head under KO's nutsack. I'm taking the over for sure on that. But yeah, I think I'm interested. They got me hooked on this Bloodline story again. Like the other night I was showing my mom Raw, and she was like, asking like what happened on Raw, and I said, I'll just show you the Bloodline parts. So I just showed her the parts that had to deal with the Bloodline. I was like, that's it for Raw, pretty much. Like that's all you need to know. But that's like I'm invested again in this Bloodline story. They sparked it back up. I do feel like just slightly that it's rushed a tad. I feel like they're rushing it just a little bit. I think they could have slowed this down and had a couple more weeks of struggle for Jay before he just decided. Like I feel like it was all kind of
Well,
rushed a little bit
that
because
belt
Survivor
though,
Series is 4 weeks away.
you cost him his belt though. That's going to piss you off. You're not going to wait. That's what I.
Right. No, I get that, but they could have done that later. I think they're rushing this to try and get it all in by Survivor Series, which is fine. Which is fine. And I mean, the good thing about it being Survivor Series is the brand split is non-existent at this point. So you have 2 shows each week to get your story in. So your 4 weeks now turns into 8 episodes that you can get this stuff in. So it's not that bad. I just a minor criticism. I feel like it's a little rushed and it
Well,
could be slow played a little more.
another reason why I think the Bloodline 2.0 wins this is I think they win this to set more up in the Survivor Series match where I think the OG Bloodline wins that.
Yeah, 2.0 I think wins this one with help from Fatu on the outside. I think 2.0 Bloodline, Timu Bloodline, not the ones Bloodline wins this one.
I wasn't sure who I was going to pick. I can't. Y'all's argument is too good about. I can't go the other way here because it doesn't seem. I'd like to see Roman and them win, but I think you're right. I think it's going to be Solo on them, and I guess so. Solo's got to get the pin. Who takes the pin?
Tongaloa. Oh no, probably Jimmy. Probably Jimmy. That's going to be another
Jimmy.
botch. Tongaloa is going to sit down there and be pinned with Jimmy.
He pins his own team.
I know he's not getting the pin either.
No, I think you have to pin Jimmy. You're not pinning Roman, and then I don't see Jay with as hot as he is. He gets pinned.
I don't know that it matters, Kyle. I think it's one of the Usos, but I think since Jacob Fatu gets involved, I think that will, it's not going to be a clean pin. It's going to be something, shenanigan wise, where even if it was Jay, it's just going to tick him off because somebody else got involved and it wasn't like a clean. Like I think he's going to get taken out or something. The ref's going to get knocked down a couple times this match. Probably he'll be all staggered.
For sure. The ref gets that is if that's a prop bet, Brandon, take that one to the bank. The ref is definitely getting knocked down.
He's probably going to be out for a while.
Also, how awesome was it when not this past Monday, but the previous Monday, the Braun and Jay match? The Bloodline came in there and the Jacob Fatu Braun showdown. Like, give me that match one day. Take my money. They teased
That's
that
just massive.
They teased that just enough. I was like, I'm all in on that.
Like that's the thing. They've just kind of tip of the iceberg with Jacob Fatu. Like he hasn't really had a match against really anybody yet. Like it's been involved in this group thing. So eventually when he does have his own run, he's got all these guys he can face. I mean, they've really done a good job of protecting him in essence, where he's showing strong, but like he hasn't really gotten the ring. He's just been, beating people up and taking people out, from behind and stuff, and hasn't really one-on-one matched anybody yet. So I think they're doing a good job. I am interested to see what the teams look like for Survivor Series. Is it a 5-on-5? Isn't that usually what it is, a 5-on-5?
That's what I thought, but I've also been told 4-on-4. I can't remember actually.
So
like the traditional Survivor Series, but it's War Games now. I can't remember what it is.
So I'm thinking that maybe the 2.0 gets their 5th member early, and then we don't know who the 5th member is of OG, and like they show up somebody at Survivor Series, and I don't know. I would like it to be 5-on-5 because I feel like they've kind of played. I don't know who their 4th's going to be yet. We think maybe Sammy, but they haven't really played enough in it. And if it's not, is The Rock just going to be pulling the strings, or is he going to be involved? We know he's going to be involved in some sort of way. So I don't know. All right. Well, that's the card, fellas. A really good 7-match card there. I'm excited about it overall. If they do put the card in this order, it would leave that women's match dead in the middle. So it'd give you kind of a break.
Perfect. It's a halftime. Yeah.
Is there anything else going on in wrestling that you guys since we've been on it that you guys want to mention or talk about before we close out?
I mean, there's been some interesting things on AEW. I hadn't watched tonight, obviously, but they've been telling an interesting story with it. They've been going with the Moxley stuff still, and they've been
They're really dragging that out.
Yeah, and they've been teasing. Well, I mean, it's gonna go for a while, but they've been teasing some Orange Cassidy stuff. First he didn't help, he didn't, and then Chuck Taylor calls him out, and then Chuck Taylor gets taken out. So now what? Like, I don't know what. It'll be interesting to see what Orange Cassidy does. The Adam Cole MJF thing, I'm intrigued by that. I'm ready to watch it tomorrow because tonight's card's a banger because you got Swerve against Shelton Benjamin. They've been making Shelton Benjamin look like a star. Like he's looked really good. He's always been good in the ring, but we haven't seen him as a viable threat in a long time, and they've been making him look really good. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, is Bobby even coming? Because they've been making Shelton look like the star of that group. But him and Swerve tonight will be good. They've been doing some stuff with they've been teasing a private party breakup, but they got a title match tonight. If they win, they're the champs. If they lose, so it'll be interesting to see what direction they go. Will they take the belts off of the Young Bucks? I mean, there's some intriguing stuff there. Full Gear's coming right around the corner. Hangman and Jay White's story is still pretty good. So
don't forget about Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. That's what I'm ready for.
Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher, yeah. And then they finally revealed that Christian was the one who took out Taz. So we got Hook and Christian coming up, and Christian still got his briefcase. They got the whole Kip Sabian thing with Christian. They're doing some things. The Mariah May Anna Jay that they faced tonight. So they're pushing Anna Jay a little bit. Penelope Ford's back. She's feuding with Jamie Hayter. They're going in some direct. AEW's maybe hopefully picking back up some steam, leading into the new year. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm not gonna hold my breath. We'll see.
I mean, it's my fourth show right now because it's like I'm a Bret. It's Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and then AEW. But I watch all of them. So I mean, I watch all the AEW shows. But
yeah, and there's certain segments that on AEW, like I look for the Ospreay segments. I'm gonna always try to watch them. I like Swerve segments with Moxley and that little group. I want to see what's going on with that. There's certain
MJF's on my television. I'm watching.
MJF's on there. Yeah, that's always interesting.
I can't remember if it was on Dynamite. I think it actually might have been on Collision. So you might not see it, but it was a one-on-one with Nigel and Wheeler Yuta. Did y'all see that?
Mm-mm.
So I think it was on Collision. Or I can't even on Rampage. It's probably on Collision because but that was pretty good. It was a one-on-one interview backstage with Nigel and Wheeler Yuta. I thought very, very, because we saw it in that last Danielson match, and Nigel's just like, I don't like Danielson, but he starts questioning Wheeler Yuta, and Wheeler Yuta's like, well, what are you talking about? He's like, well, it's kind of different what we're doing. Well, we're not doing the same thing here. So Wheeler Yuta's like, you're not any better than I am, and wrestle the guy, and you're trying to kill the guy.
Yeah, we got some good storylines on AEW. There's some good stuff going on right now. It's intrigued me enough I want to make sure I catch those different segments. So, Full Gear, I think, is the 25th, I believe. So that's like the weekend before Thanksgiving, I believe. So that's coming up here pretty soon. So I'm sure. I wonder if we see some kind of reveal of something at Full Gear with this new group, or if they continue to drag it out. I would think we would get something at some point.
You say it's the 25th?
I think so. I'm not 100%. Don't quote me to that. I feel like that's
okay. 23rd. Okay.
23rd. There you go.
Because the 30th, the Survivor Series, and I noticed that they've announced it's going to be like there's no UFC at all that day, not even like a fight night or nothing. but they've announced it's like a 4:00 Eastern start for Survivor Series, and it's in it's in Canada or here. It's like it's in one of our time zones, but A&M Texas is that night, so I don't know if that played a part but I don't want them going to head, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. That this is a big month for shows. There's three good shows I think that we'll get this month. So,
and then we won't have any AEW might throw something together in December, but WWE doesn't do anything in December, and they don't have anything in January this year.
We have the main event, which will be new.
Yeah, I still don't know what to expect on that. So
yeah, it'll be interesting. But that's pretty much all the card tonight. Guys, it's going to be a good show, and we'll be back next week to talk a little bit about the if we got our picks right or wrong, and how everything went out. Will we see the tribal chief get the win? We don't think so, but we'll find out next week. Thanks for tuning in to Off the Ropes. For the Big Goose, KO Kyle Owens, Dirt Sheet Brandon Ogden, I'm Mr. Nedison, Brett Swinney, signing off for tonight. Everybody enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the wrestling pay-per-view, and we'll see you back here next week on Off the Ropes. Good night, everybody.